guess this came from Wally.
I was gonna tell you, you guys were talking about the wages for the gals in the county attorney's office. And I'm surprised none of you remember this. And I think Mary was recording stuff then. Ellen Donahue gave up part of her salary to pay those clerks more. I would think that would be somewhere. Someone
No,
would find it
I
somewhere.
remember,
Do you remember
I
that?
remember her doing that already, yeah.
Yeah, because nobody brought it up in that meeting. And I'm like, well, I can't believe that they can't remember that.
Oh, well, we were talking about our, what we can pay them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was doing that on her own.
She was doing it out of her own
Yeah.
pocket from her salary.
Right.
Yeah, anyway. I
Yeah,
just- I didn't know if you
I remember
remembered.
that.
Yep, I did too.
Oh, geez, that's gonna take forever. I need to start those claims.
So Donna, I asked Claudia about that Microsoft Word docs.
Yeah, he said that we'd
She
be
said,
interested in reading
if you
these.
pull it up on a computer, can you
has
like
no
screenshot
website.
it and then print that?
It has no dates.
I want it typed into, I'll just have to
It
read
has
everything.
nothing. And I get this, and I knew it was Wally by the
I
screen.
brought the computer and I thought,
His Parkinson's.
maybe I'd give it to Claudia, maybe she knows how to do the
I
conversion.
don't know.
I think there's a conversion.
There is, but then you still have to
Too much
go in there and make a
Or
lot
it's a-
of changes.
I-
It doesn't
It's a-
convert.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I just wondered if it was in a Word
I
document,
told
but
him
you
the
have
main
the other
thing wrong with
computer
this whole
going
thing.
forward.
Right, I should going forward, I just wanted to help
University of
you
Montana.
now
Medical
with that,
Health.
because I brought both
Exactly,
computers.
who's in
The one I
people
did
back
at
zone.
home that has the Google Docs.
Maybe today we would have time to type those out.
And maybe it was only in Google Docs that it was sent. I don't know.
I don't know. I
I'll
don't,
see.
Yeah, there's stuff I can't open online.
yeah,
But,
so maybe if we just,
I'll make, when we have a logo, the card.
and then that Teams one keeps, well, see, that's what Jen and Amy Loman wanted us to.
Oh,
Yes.
instead of Zoom or whatever?
Yeah, well, I don't know, yeah, I suppose you could even do that. It'd probably be more secure.
okay, and then here's some starting stuff that we need to do. I'll put it back here, what we remember. And did you everybody get a chance to look at this road project?
Not yet.
Nope, that's okay, I just wanna make sure we do get to it.
That's the one we're doing tomorrow.
Oh, it must be, is it? I forgot that we have that, yeah,
Isn't that on there? Isn't that on
yeah,
there?
yeah, I forgot already though.
Yeah, that's the first thing.
Yes, darn it. Green fog.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's,
Yep, I think you're right.
you showed him that, right? When's that on there? Oh, it's the last thing.
I don't know. Was it in there? I mean, I wonder where you even got that. I don't know when that is.
When?
Nothing. Check.
Yeah.
You need to give me that. Read that
Nobody
administration.
picked it?
Yeah, where did my administration go?
Two cases, one of them, emergency, which by the way, Jackson
tell you,
I
'cause
think so.
this is guys from. They are a little different.
Yes, yep.
Just curious. Hmm?
It's just an anticipation of what's coming.
Get over.
Thank you.
Forget about it.
Thank you. Where did those claims, these checks are just on top of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially with mine. Do I need to too? Yeah, seriously. Yes.
Anyway, so who got that then, Roman?
The deadline's May 1, and then we'll select, I'm hoping that somebody, another kid at least, and right now there's only one kid.
Who,
I think it's from St. Regis.
how much?
$1,000, one of them, I think there's $2,000 ones and one $1,500.
So there's three of them?
Yeah,
Oh, one for each,
yeah.
but nobody's,
The only one supplied for St.
looks
Regis.
like they had you for that DUI
Yeah.
scholarship.
Really? No.
Macy.
Oh, that, yeah, on the paper?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sticky paper. I was sick that day, so I didn't get to go to that DUI meeting.
Yes.
It would either, if you guys like to join me when our meeting is over, meeting and filing.
What?
You can bring snacks.
Seeing and filing what?
Yeah.
I thought he did that. No?
We need to give a little help there. Oh, you're pretty happy with her doing.
Yes, it's here. So, see,
No, that's all right, I'll wait for your lunch. Actually, I have to go home, I have a dog.
is he in today?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
No, no. I
He's
told
not?
him, no,
Oh, had to go get his dad?
he was hoping to.
Thought he would.
Yeah. Did a nice job getting everything ready before he left. Very nice job. Did you say who she is?
Yeah.
She's the desk person of the health department.
Oh. Didn't know they had it.
Yeah, it used to be Terry Skinner and
Mhm.
then,
Okay. How do you pronounce that name?
which one, the last one?
Yeah.
Colmeyer.
Yeah, I see him every once in a while down in St. Regis, not very often. Once in a while,
Who's that? Oh, Joel?
yeah.
No discussion.
What do you think there?
Yeah, this-
Am I gonna
yeah.
address it?
Where's that coming from?
Help me.
Are they matched? Are they ours? Are they Forest Services? What are they? Hey, Roman and Don and Dwayne, I have a question. So, on the, you seconded and approved Willie Peck at the as the resource advisor employee for a salary of $60,000 for a 1-year period. Hours worked must be logged and travel expenses must be itemized with detail. Where's that $60,000 coming from? Is
Title
that,
III funds. It
It's
should
what?
be in there, Title III. It's done, he is employed by Title III monies.
okay, and is that part ours, part yours, part theirs? Does it come out of all of our bank or does it come out of part of the Forest
It
Service?
comes out of none of your bank, it comes from the Forest Service. It's what used to be back when logging was king, they paid us 25% of every timber sale receipt. And so then they quit doing that when everything got tied up in court and the timber sales went in the toilet. And then they created Secure Rural Schools. And Secure
Okay.
Rural Schools issues this money in Title I, II, and III. Title I's roads and schools. Title II is the Forest Service RAC, and Title III is the commissioners, which is pretty much used only for field mitigation anymore. It used to be pretty loosely put together. You could use it for a lot of things, but now it's pretty much field mitigation, education. There's a few other things, but not
So
much.
fuel mitigation, education, like as in fire department educations and
Yeah,
things like that? Okay.
That
got it.
that SISM class that Frank put on up there.
I heard you say that,
Yeah.
that's why I was curious which
Yeah.
funds.
Yep,
All right, thank you.
yep.
Do we have any post-its here? I have a claim that doesn't have a department head signature.
By the way, the bottom of that says that the next meeting will be on April 14th, and these are the minutes from April 14th.
Well, dang it.
I know.
Because that's it.
Uh,
So I would flag that.
oh, that's Emily and Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there something here? There is.
Oh, you're hoarding, aha.
No, I'm not. I
Thank
just
you.
happened to see him in there when I was looking for something else. This is suspicious. That's how you do it.
The best, absolute best. She can so stand her. She can be her.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I love how she's got the back. I mean, in the political correctness.
Yep,
It's not
yep.
really hers. She'll do.
Yep. Totally agree. What day and when is it?
Do I have the minutes here too?
I think maybe we just have one
One,
so that
okay.
we can pass it.
All right, I'll look later, I'm right now looking at the cash
Yep,
report.
I want to find it for you.
Well, I'm in no rush, but I'm looking at the financials.
You really need to do it, because we have to make those changes.
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
that was,
I'll put that on the administrative sheet.
okay,
Mhm.
you don't like it? Order?
I keep losing the administrative sheet.
Sorry.
Yeah, there it is.
Personal phone.
Yeah. With said changes, when we do minutes, that will be with said changes.
Yeah.
I wonder, I'm gonna see if Dave signed on a different sheet or no supervisor
Remind
signature.
me more. I got the Helena for that forest and counties thing. Remind me to come back and turn that in on Title III too. Just have to put that on the claim.
Your thing,
Yeah,
is Willie going with you?
well, he's going, I think it was going to. Okay.
Did he sign?
Yes, he has it, he signed it up to the top, he did it, okay.
I didn't follow up what did, but good to know. Oh, yeah, did she, and she never had that, huh?
Said she was.
Well, then, we tried. What's that song you by?
Singing Zoom.
Yeah. Oh, that's too bad, because what's the difference? You're still
What?
attending.
She can't have a crowd with her,
Well,
inciting a riot.
She can vote via Zoom, she can't debate though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know, because otherwise,
What, is Mom here today?
he, I do, as far as I know, he is, yes.
You know what he's doing today?
Yes, we do.
He's
Yeah.
She getting low on funds?
Oh, I know, I wonder when you start breaking the leaves, and I wonder when you push front steps and sleeping.
And where
And then little stuff, and then what's going on with the tower? How come there's still a pile of dirt out there? The antenna tower.
Last I heard, he said they were waiting for it to warm up so they could pour some in.
Oh,
And what are we doing about the gutters? Where do we stand?
He told me once that the guy was working, Arrow was working.
And did we, and we didn't need a bit for that to have.
if it's under a certain amount.
Maybe just go with that, right? The next guy's not.
Not if it's under 5, if you need to get the work done, it'll, yeah, it's small enough stuff, I mean, just.
I don't know if we even ever seen an estimate for it.
It's just
No.
like the door, it's just like the door.
Yeah, yeah.
Just get it small enough.
Do you have an extra pencil or pen or something?
We always do.
Leave on the table and there to sign.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Uh-huh, I'm slipping. Yeah.
Didn't keep one. Oh, they're not highly sought after ones, so you can keep
I
them.
like that red one, it's like a teacher pen. It doesn't write red, but look at that. Is that not an old teacher pen? It is.
It's written in the middle.
It is a teacher pen from like when I was a kid.
Really?
There you
Is
go.
that old?
Is that a redwood wood?
But that was before we had ink. That's when we just had the
That
graphite.
was just a lead pencil.
Yeah, right,
But
yeah.
I do think they had pens like that too. I'm gonna get some pens.
Maybe I'll have one come in while we're here, but should we ask them some of those questions?
Yeah, yeah. Did you spend any time over there this last week?
They had Chilcott over there, I guess. He was embroiled in the middle of all that exciting action going on.
I hate to see him get that harsh, but I'd have done the same damn thing. I would've, I don't care what she said or who she represented. And have you seen that little Manzella put a thing out there? Who is Zoe, whatever his or her name.
Where does she went?
Going by kind of an interesting.
Hmm.
Go on Facebook and look at it. Probably on YouTube by now. Any interesting background from that person?
Is that person from here, Montana? Grew up in Missouri?
No, I think he infiltrated from somewhere. I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
Did you read the Mandela thing that closely?
No, it just popped up there.
Oh,
Yeah. No, I'm not enthused by her anymore.
Storm's on his way.
Hmm?
Storm is on his way.
All right.
Yeah, she does. I honestly, she does. Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Did you read that?
So,
Yeah, this page here, I think,
there you go.
It is a big talk.
the grand yourself with the explanation. Yeah.
All a good thing.
Norm, what are you working on today?
No, I'm just backfilling that hole out there in the back, and I gotta figure out.
We were just talking about
So,
that.
the
It
tower,
must be
you gonna do
about
that
one
dirt? I was just wondering how long that dirt's gonna, you
Uh,
got the concrete poured?
Yeah, the concrete, all that's poured, yeah.
Okay.
Everything just froze over the winter, so I'm just backfilling it. Started yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I gotta get haul rocks from over the shop over there with that stupid heavy ass wheelbarrow we have
Okay.
poured in.
And then when are you gonna start doing the fun raking of the leaves job?
Oh, I started that the other day.
Did you?
Pulled all
Okay.
those out of there.
And then the courthouse steps, do they get, you can sweep those off regularly, the cement one going up the?
Every once in a while, you can. Need it again?
Yeah, today, probably, and then me and Dwayne were wondering what the, we've heard different versions. The gutter problem, what's the plan?
Steve is gonna give me a quote on what's gonna run on that. Now, this one, we need to have somewhere for it to go. That's our biggest problem on this one, so it's kind of, we need that all taken care of, like the concrete and all that, so I need to find a couple more quotes on somebody who can do that bigger project. It's over 5,000, so I need to get a couple more quotes, see where that's gonna run, and figure out where the water's gonna go.
Yep. Oh, wow.
There's no way to direct it further away from the building and let it go on the ground?
Well, yeah, it can go, but it'll backflow this way because of how much higher that grass is. It'll just backflow right back in. And if we can't run a gutter too far off of the sidewalk, people will trip on it.
You got any ideas, Commissioner Simon?
Well, go underground with it, but that'd take some digging.
Well, that's gonna be part of the one we need to concrete and fix all that anyway, so if we put a big central.
So what
fixture-
corner would you come off with, do you think?
Right there and just came in, and we got concrete where the grass
This
is.
corner right over here?
Yeah, it'll come right off that side there, and then, it'll run into where the concrete is, and, Deb's husband actually brought up a pretty good point, we could put a big first drain in the middle of where that concrete pad would be, so all of it will run down there and just go away. And there wouldn't be a problem there, since we would have to do other things and cut through the state highway to get to the city's drainage system, which probably isn't an option at the moment. Yeah, so it's, okay, but
And this summer, we'll probably have to start getting on the, what, we're gonna try to do the parking lots or the pillars or something.
So if you ever
Maintenance-wise
start
there.
seeing that.
I don't know if we ought to do the parking lots until we do that, those pillars. Do something over there and see what the hell we got left for money or what it's gonna take or.
Do you need to reach out to some of the engineers and get an RFP?
I think so, do something, I mean, it's more than
it's gonna be pricey.
what the average guy is gonna be able to tell you what's gonna carry.
Because, yeah, we're gonna have to have that, probably some kind of structural
We packed up my car.
assessment before we have somebody go at it, public building and all.
Yeah.
And that way we can have a scope of work done as well, that way we have a closed bid, because it's gonna be way more expensive than all that stuff.
Research that, get that going, because we got the weather now, we don't want to far gone.
Anybody that's probably gonna do that is probably gonna end up having to do it next year regardless. And so because that's not a,
It's such a long process.
yeah.
RFP, engineering thing probably would be.
I can get hold of some engineers, see what it's gonna run. To assess it. Emily's got like 5 of them on speed dial, so usually.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to probably post the papers.
Oh,
But yeah, we'll start looking, keep that on our radar.
Do you want the engineer to just go ahead and do the assessment for the parking lots too?
Yeah, if they're out here, we might as well get a double, kill two birds with one stone and get
It was not.
their ideas on the parking.
It was.
Do you have any
It was parked.
chores or tasks or questions of Norm?
What did you find out about the weather?
We need to, when we build this out, on the concrete and all that, we need to have a drain system put in, that way it goes
So
somewhere.
where are we going with that? Because we have that public still saying, you know what, you've done that, you've done that. So where are we with that then? I understand what you're saying has to be done, but.
I'm getting a quote from Steve Prater, this one, he actually brought a pretty good
We
idea.
walked it together and came up with some ideas, so we just had to put it down on paper and give you guys a budget.
Yeah, because I want it to be able to answer
No, it's
that one's such an
a simple
obvious one.
solution to do the skirt and the reach. It's a simple solution. Yeah, and it'll be prophylactic. It will be,
Good.
you know, good for
Yeah.
the future.
Thank
You're
you.
talking about the whole building as
Yeah.
well over there, yeah, that would be awesome on
Yeah.
the side.
Yep, I
Because
appreciate
Steve
that.
wasn't too sure what to do with those gutters
You got a
either.
half basement basically all around the building, so why not
And
treat
so-
it like a basement?
So what's the holdup though? Well, how come we're not moving on that?
We currently don't have that kind of funds for like the money plans right now.
I don't think that's true. I think we need to come talk and we need to.
You want us to finish a budget for you?
Yeah, we need a
And then you can put it out to bid?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, isn't that part of the building maintenance that we intended to do? Wouldn't that be?
Yeah, but we need a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
we can finish the budget in a
I
couple
mean,
of
he's
days.
in-
I can put some numbers.
Well, he doesn't, what he's saying is he
he
doesn't have it.
doesn't,
Yeah,
He
right,
doesn't have
right,
it yet.
but
The other,
yeah, because I think that's part of the building, maintenance stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, we'll finish it up. How deep do you
Am I
think that
wrong?
footing is, do you know? I mean, your basement probably
About 4 feet.
Yeah,
About
about
4
4
feet.
feet, about the same.
About doing that?
We're gonna try and get down underneath
Yeah,
the
we need
slab
to
for the
get
basement area, so
a budget.
maybe 4 and 6 feet.
Oh, yeah, but that's what I'm saying, well, so what's the section?
on this side is good.
But we
What
can-
they were talking about also was that section
Yeah,
where the
we
gutters
haven't
are.
done anything.
I just want to make sure that I'm, yeah,
We haven't-
right.
Gotta build that back.
So I mean, I'll do a draft,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we talked
I
about
just-
maybe ideas, but let me do a draft.
Yeah.
He's saying he doesn't have a
Right.
budget.
Okay.
No, I need to get a couple
Right.
of bids at the price anyway, so.
It's a budget, you can
Yeah,
put the
like-
thing out to bid, but
Yeah.
I'll help you with the original budget. Perfect, okay. Cool.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I didn't know we, you know.
Well, I thought you were asking, you already had a money budget.
I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
like out of mine itself, I don't have a lot left.
No, no. I understand. I think we still somehow have to take
And
another
Dwayne?
step.
Look at that, bottom,
They were
bottom of the
talking about,
highlight.
since we're gonna need an engineer to look at the pillars anyway, and we, since we're here, have them look at the parking lot and give us one smooth shebang on that.
The only thing I worry about is that it's one of those things that.
How's that supposed to work?
I don't know, maybe somebody needs to
Oh, I mean,
Make
get
sure
a
that
hold
the
of
current
engineer and see what the
one
price quote would be for that.
report it on so the money
Start
comes
there,
in.
Get this processing stuff moving.
to ask about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna cost these days.
No, I know that you don't know. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I can, I'll talk to Emily and go see if she's in there, I gotta run over to the
That's
library.
the engineer, she got her speed dial.
Yeah, I got a few of them.
Or maybe, I guess more specifically, I was curious of who they are.
I'm not sure who they are.
Yeah.
She got like two
When
lists
you,
of
when you
them.
talk to her, see which one she has.
Are you guys thinking that we could make money for the gutters? Or what are you thinking?
Yeah, we have the option of that, or
Yeah,
the,
ARPA money? I mean, how could we,
The, I don't know, if the ARPA money, but
we have the tribal consistency or the ARPA.
but so if we ask him to get started,
well, are we in line for the ARPA? The last time I talked to her,
Wasn't there a
yes.
piece of the ARPA we were just gonna selectively use for parking lot?
Well, I know, yeah, it was, yeah, yeah.
And the rest was up for the,
Yeah.
committee to, I don't know. We
Yeah,
can
no,
check in
that
on
was
it
you're right, that was the original statement.
before we knew about the other money coming in.
Yep.
so how would he proceed? Is it Clarkman who would proceed by talking to Emily and trying to
Oh, okay.
use that? I
And
mean, only
this is
because
my
we're
marker
at
right here.
standstill and we
Oh.
need to-
See where the script
Yeah.
is? That's where you're.
Well, I think before we knew about the local consistency money coming in, and there was the ARPA that was for water and sewer, that got allotted out, and there was the other piece, and we had the committee set up
I know.
for Emily, and we kind of decide and prioritize. But I remember that we kind of always kept a slice of that pie for us to use at our discretion for these big
Yeah, I think we
projects,
said
like the
20,000.
pillars and the parking lot and all that, so we'll have to go back and
Interesting.
But he would
see what the
be,
balance is and see what we need and what.
So we have something to start.
yeah, he has a place to start. He could go to Emily today and find out. I mean, so that we could get started on
Oh, the
this.
only reason we mentioned Emily's name was because she has the RFP engineering on speed dial. He knows.
But it, is she the one that has to go off?
We haven't decided that yet.
Yes.
We haven't decided which one
She's
we
in control.
of the ARPA, but not the local tribal.
But I thought you said there was some set aside, so we would maybe use.
Yeah, I
this
just can't
ARPA.
remember what amount we decided on.
I know, but can he, besides the engineer, can you talk to Emily about getting some of that ARPA money for it?
Yeah,
So
you
we
can
know
talk to her.
how to, that we've got
Oh,
some.
we
She might have a different recollection than Dwayne, but you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you clear what you should do?
Yeah, I gotta
Because that
talk
was
to
kind of
Emily. We
muddy,
gotta
that
get
was a
some-
real
yeah.
muddy.
I gotta have money somewhere to hire an engineer. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yeah,
So
but,
ask Emily.
but we have to advertise and they have to be in our, they'll come out here and they'll give us their spiel and then we'll select one and then we'll move ahead.
Okay.
But there's no money involved in any of that, so it's selection.
True.
But still, just so you're clear on how to move forward, we're gonna talk to Emily. We're gonna find out that there's some money there
Okay.
at the commissioner's discretion to use, correct?
I don't even know if you need to bring that up yet. We're
Okay,
just trying-
bring that
We're
up.
just trying to get her to help get
Get the engineers coordinated at least.
And then let them know there's an ad coming out in the paper if they want to pay attention to our little paper, and then we'll solicit the RFP,
Okay.
have a presentation.
There you go.
And then we'll
There's the
decide
bottom
on the
line.
money between the pots and what's.
Okay, as long as
I just didn't
he
want
knows
her,
what
I didn't want
step
that to
take.
become the new debate, and then we're
No.
missing the point on getting.
That's, yep, that's why I asked, just so he's clear on what step to take, and he can take that step today.
Yeah, we can go see if she's in right now.
Nice, and then would you let us know
Yeah.
after you've done that?
Sure.
So then we have a report to do back.
I guess we're fun to ask her too, which ones you think she has on speed dial, because we meet a lot of them, we're at conventions, so I just want to make sure some of the ones that we've worked with before are on her speed dial, or the ones I'm thinking of. So we all have a good, fair balance.
I think there's a few that St. Regis uses along with the city and everybody else.
Good, good, all right. Sewer district. Okay, thanks, Nora.
Yep, I'll go see if she's in.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying how that should be done.
Clear as mud, right?
Yeah.
Oh, piece of plastic.
He didn't even be around all next week, so.
Okay, all right. Appreciate it.
I'll have to ask about this. This one is in such arrears, you know, if somebody's not doing the correct reporting or documentation.
They keep them busy.
So this one,
Wrestle them.
don't want to put the cart before the horse,
They're
this one will be in
athletics,
order.
skiing. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
great.
You walked 5 miles already today?
She does all day.
No, I don't know
Oh.
what that said. I saw, you know, we have Abby's graduating from college and Delaney's graduating from high school in medical. So Brianna was just telling me so much money.
So, oh, for the scholarship? Or for the
No,
what?
just for graduation presents.
Oh,
Not that that was here nor there, but did I walk 5 miles yet? Are you
oh.
kidding?
Well, it looked like a watch. Looked
Oh,
like
it
one of
is,
those
because
foot-
I had to, this watch band is no good for me, so I had to order a new watch band.
Oh,
Watch
and that watch band was telling you about the graduation date?
No, Roman. So.
Yeah.
Which topic?
This.
Oh. Why is he on the agenda for that? Oh,
This is.
well, he has that? Well, you won't make you crazy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez, I don't know why we get these when they're not signed.
What's- Yeah, I thought maybe they'd initial the invoice, but no one even did that.
And I should have looked at that first. I
Well, yeah, they don't wanna, that's on, whoever's paying for it should sign it, 2301 fund.
Do you have your fund stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise I do have one.
It's coming out of the detention center for $615, but nobody signed it, so. Yeah, that one probably ought to be signed.
Yep.
Well, I
That's
mean,
the
all
kind
of them ought to be signed, but
Yeah,
sometimes you
yeah,
can tell.
I'm a stickler on that. Probably much to your dismay.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't have you as a teacher.
I know.
May I go to the restroom?
Yeah,
Is it
Yeah.
can I or may I? I always forget.
well, I think the English teacher would stand in the hall and say, may.
Mm-hmm.
We had an English teacher who stood in the hall always doing that.
Because when I was in third grade, I'd say, can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
And she'd go,
I
I
don't
don't know,
know,
can you? Oh.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's universal.
Oh, you're confusing me. Yes, I think I'm gonna go right now.
Give Claudia the check, so. Do we have a check? Yep, you would be signing it, I think.
Oh, well, what's the number on the thing? And I can-
041509.
Yes, there it is.
Okay,
And that's supposed to go to Claudia?
yep. Do you wanna put the Post-it there?
Okay.
So, we don't need anything on this, just CEBA, we have this, we don't need anything attached to that from the Conservation District.
Yeah, we're dispersing them
Okay,
tax monies.
so we don't need anything.
No, it's just kind of what we're gonna do when we do the SISM money for, I gotta do that today too.
We need to get
Oh,
two plain ones, and I can
Right.
get those off from Darren's computer,
oh, okay.
or we can get them from Helen, it doesn't matter.
I have a funny feeling Mayo may do that, you know, because we're gonna check her out to find out what that is.
A lot of this cash report is gonna be in the, negative because we're about to get backfilled with
So
our
go and do an ultrasound.
real estate taxes in May,
You got
so
fatty tissues on your liver.
some of these don't need to be alarmed on,
We
because
know
they're gonna be, but some of them aren't backfilled by our taxes, that's why I was wondering,
Yeah.
So I go and I get a CT scan, it comes back, hey, nothing's really bad, you know, nothing that's gonna kill you, or, you know, you'll be doing all right, blah, blah, blah. But you may wanna get an MRI. So, well, it's like, to get a better look at it, it's like, they go from one step, first they go to the ultrasound, then they go to the CT, then they go to the MRI. Next thing you know, they're gonna be saying, well, we need to cut you open even though there's nothing wrong. And of course, she sees something like that, she gets very, very diagnosed.
Are you going upstairs?
Stone Garden.
Because you can grab your things from her.
Okay.
I won't go here to see my life.
So anyway, so he said, he told my husband, because I wasn't with him that day, he went to the so he called his buddy us to go to one to see her, and then over, so we went up there. Dr. Wallace, he was so we ended up being it's not a it's an important condition. So we're on our second. It's still hardly safe to sit right on it. It's always something.
Oh, yeah, it's,
You know, when I went to this year, they found that I have a big calcification
Yeah.
in a baby. And I can ask if you live in it, it's like,
Like to sit on a move.
they said, oh, it's from Mr. Catholic Greenhouse. Gee, okay.
Well, we already had DVT,
Exactly.
but he didn't. So they're assuming,
So you're assuming the whole thing with calcification.
you know, he's on 2 blood thinners. His skin is so cold. Oh my God, he's touching things. His hands are literally from here to here. It's just black. From all the blood vessels breaking, you know, from the dog banging into him and they're playing. And I think that's where the infection came from, because he never goes and washes shit off that old dog.
Do you know any sleeves?
Yeah.
They were like,
Yeah.
He's a man.
I got one too.
He carries the sushi dog.
Good morning. Here you are. I just emailed you.
Oh, I was, you did?
Yeah, are you offending?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you get dogs?
I don't know. Some random t-shirt shop.
It was winter. That's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, and you're pointing.
The point is I need to take it off.
Yeah, well, you can yell about the walk.
It's over here.
Sugar.
This is the zoom.
What do you call it? Cardboard?
If you want to zoom in, you press the
Get your firewood in, or
Yeah, I know there's lots of things.
Chase Trevor.
to do.
Yeah. Good.
What's important?
Yeah. Talking implosions.
Have you started upstairs?
Well, yeah, but I have to take I have to take a test before I can make some of the
But you
class.
never read?
Basically, I don't know what it is, I have to get spy or, it's on a computer.
Oh, you're good. Seriously? Seriously?
Yeah, do you have trouble?
No, because they don't, how did they know that you took it and they didn't have to just hit
I said, well,
I don't think it's really a test. I don't know what it is.
she was not out. No.
They just lie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we confirmed
Was it-
that.
I got a text, I
It
was
was in your
texted.
law. You gaslighted.
I came as soon as I could start the project, but they also looked at the
Mm.
Because
I'm sorry?
it's got lots of health problems, and he's got chronic pain, I just worry about it. So that was good.
Where is this? Olympian Bridge?
Oh, it's around the Olympian, I don't know where the bridge is.
Where's the Olympian?
It starts at, Little Joe Road, and goes up on the old railroad there, on Milwaukee head up to about Saltese.
On the trails to trails?
It-
So it's not like a highway bridge?
No,
No, or motorized, I guess I should say.
no.
Hey,
well,
doesn't
yeah,
she
you
have
know,
to have
like
an
pretty
agenda
well
with
motorized
this?
Okay,
four-wheeler system.
okay.
But
She
it, yeah,
does,
it's
yeah.
going to be part of the Great American Rail Trail.
receipt,
It's
And
in part
usually
that's
it's the
kinda
agenda.
finished.
yeah.
Only part we don't have is finished.
So how, what is gonna connect from where to where?
Well,
So that one that you.
Great American Rail Trail around like
Who was
Eastern
that
County,
for?
Alberton.
P for claim.
Well, and through to Missoula too, all the way to the north.
First,
Okay.
the very first
And
one.
what is it, on Marlin Road?
No,
This?
it's going the railroad trail as much as we can, but a lot of
Yeah,
it's been
so-
sold into public.
Emily
They're
on
out
the
of
website.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So we have to find alternative routes, but we've had a grant that we've applied for. One other counties.
I appreciate that.
Here, Muslim.
Yeah, we and the state line to do a planning grant for it, so.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, what are you doing?
Good.
Good.
I'm waiting for my breakfast, Dwayne.
You want one?
I have my soup over there. I
I'm
have-
gonna eat, bring it.
Oh, you, is there bacon on that?
There is, yeah. My favorite.
I've never seen that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we discovered it.
Huh.
We were out on the coast a couple of years ago. There was a little bakery that made these. And then
Dwayne, don't do that, it'll get in your mouth.
I'm gonna go get my soup.
Instead of putting the crumbles on here.
Yeah?
They put strips of bacon. You know, it was great.
And so where do you go to get that? What'd you do, tell Darlow's to start
Mm-hmm.
putting bacon on
Yeah.
there?
Just wrote down Bridges earlier.
I could do it there.
Oh,
Which one is this?
L, all lowercase, S T, U T, C E L, at Gmail. You have to make that. Still big.
Yeah, it's good.
I know, it's automatically does it.
Usually when I send stuff, I always read that FWD,
Yeah.
because a lot of times that'll bounce onto your junk mail.
Oh. I don't see it.
And it kind of looks like you gotta have a login, but click login anyway, and you have to log in.
Okay.
You don't have to have a password or anything. So this is the-
They don't have a flow anymore.
I think it's in the analysis. What is redundant? You have to log in.
I think it's in
Yeah,
blue.
it's private.
Like highlighted? Oh, so it's if there's any of these extra meeting, it's not.
I don't know where they were. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think that's the insurance basically assessments.
Yeah, something that isn't.
But that's, so it's not redacted?
No, in color it's blue.
It's actually.
I can't listen to
No, I just, when you said about,
So
you
we
know,
gotta go
board,
up
you
and-
know.
Yeah, it's just if there were a blue mark, there's nothing
Tell
redacted.
Keenan thank you.
Okay, but because it was done in black and white, it looks like it's redacted.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
And we probably just
So
take
you
that
guys are
line
taking
right
off
off.
tomorrow?
yeah.
Well, at least the weather's better in North Dakota.
No, I drive a Jeep, the wind is blowing.
Well,
Howling.
It's not big.
I was there.
North Dakota.
Okay, I didn't have to sign up. Could you just see me?
That Jeep just,
There, but I can't see.
I'm gonna actually have to
I would
leave
know,
one
so I do
by
understand.
sand
Yeah.
on the wheel.
It is on the system.
Because I looked at
Diesel.
it, I didn't do it on the phone pretty
Plus,
much.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We don't really do
This
things on TV.
Yeah, you can't.
You know,
Check is so big.
the Medicare sign up, extra things, you know, and if you do the 5 minutes, associated with the government.
Oh, yeah.
People don't read that, so they're always looking at, I guess, a Medicare supplement, but it's like, yeah, no, you just talk to somebody, sure thing.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that.
I think I have the 5 minute break,
So,
but they didn't have it. I know, I'm on the phone.
Yeah. In between.
I'll go get some of this on the surface. I'll go get some.
I don't think there's any.
Never mind. You'll be picking.
I'll go get some.
You'll be picking stuff out of your teeth.
I have quite a few here, but I wanted to ask you about that. Because I'm not seeing how they come up with that total. This total? Oh, or the, let's see, oh, sorry. I don't know how they get that. 88, real estate bank for the, that's some labor charges and, yep.
Trying to get meetings so that it goes to state for the
No, I think it must be Casey's. No, I don't know who that is. Who's that look like?
But I just lost
How do you get that many people to like?
140. I'm not sure how you get that when. I see 140, 53, but I don't see that 88 on here that says that we owe.
the one in Mineral County and Sanders County.
I know, but
Paradise.
140, 53, and 88.
It's gonna be from 4 to 8
Oh,
or
because
4
they put it
to
over
8.
here.
But we'll be getting the information out. We
Do you
just
see the
met
problem?
yesterday.
Should be 288.
I'm saying, you know, so maybe we need to,
Museum and hatchery.
I didn't realize this, I just saw they had 88, didn't pay attention to that, because I know that's off the wrong. Looked at the 143, and I couldn't figure out how it's 143, when there's also an 8832, okay.
No, this is for just.
It's probably here.
And then we're gonna put into the component of some of the large tank.
Just for,
Yeah, I'm just gonna check that.
I mean, you get more
Let's see,
fun.
I just,
I'm sure they would.
See, they
228,
even.
I understand.
no, it wasn't me. No. But there's three different totals, I didn't even think to look at that.
This ain't right either.
This is right, but I didn't think to, I looked at these and thought, oh, I better look at those.
Okay,
Go away now.
that's why I go. That's why I have to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can sleep in the cabin and make it seem like,
So we'll have to talk to, sheriff, sheriff.
Oh, then you can't give it to me.
so this summer I should be.
Cops grant, Stone Garden grant.
They won't have to.
We've been
Extra hour.
paid out 42,000 out of county money because
And I just went.
the reporting hasn't been done on the grant, so no money's been coming in since September. And on the cops grant since August. The current cops grant,
I don't like
that was $73,000 in arrears. So we're paying for the deputy, and the Fed should be paying for it.
Yes, they do.
No, this is the current one, so I'm just saying that we need to talk to them. If we're gonna do another one, we gotta make sure we get this one ironed out. Yeah. Well, I hope
Do they
either
go around your house?
Sheriff Hunter or Sheriff Cashman can be here for some.
Do they go around your house?
Yeah, well, he's caught up, but otherwise, neither of us $100 grand in the hole. Yeah.
Do they talk to each other too? Here.
Kind of like, you know, when twins start their novel and then they call it twins. That's pretty much what they have.
Are they all in one cage?
I don't know.
And are they all males or females?
I have a female, but she weighs it.
So they've never been through.
Maybe she's talking about detention. The detention looks good. The jail's doing well.
So they don't.
They don't cross.
And, you know, when we get our main taxes, a lot of these negative numbers become positive, except those grants are not, taxed. Those are separate, those are just grants.
Have you ever eaten one?
But they have to report on them, to keep the money coming.
You know, it's just, the humans. Yeah, very.
Because of
So
the
I
chick
asked,
eggs that are for
I asked, Tamara about that, you know, for these chickens.
I don't have
Which is just.
Yeah, not very long, is it? Who's ringing?
Yeah.
We don't have a copy of the minutes yet, do we, for the, when we decided old school with the painting of the building, do we have the minutes for that?
Oh, yeah, so it's gonna change them.
Oh.
But we do have it, yeah.
Okay, 'cause
And it's not in there, it's saying, you know, we have to.
I'm just saying that Casey prefers that when we put in the claim for the SISM grant for the
Yes.
West End Fire and the Sheriff's Office on the stress, that we put, attach the claim, the minutes, that
Right.
said we
I
did
got that
that.
written down, that you have to do
Okay,
that.
good. And that way it's
Yeah,
not.
and we want Title III on that.
Correct.
Yes, and I have that changed.
Yeah.
So, I do.
Should I bring one bottle or two?
Yeah.
And we thank you.
According to Verizon, it's 10:05. Please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need a drum. Our tempo's all off.
Yeah. Okay, I want to thank everyone for being here. Not much of a crowd today, but we're glad you are here. And the commission does ask that all seats are returned to the general seating area, unless with the exclusion of if you are videotaping. So we would have all spectators back in the general area. Thank you. That would be you.
I'm learning how to do this. Well, Julie's gone.
Doesn't matter, we don't have, yeah, it doesn't matter.
You know, as a matter of protocol, we are going to ask that all seats are in the general area with the exclusion of the videotaper. And we are doing that so we can avoid any potential problems in the future. So the commission is asking for that. And I would ask you to do that, please.
And I would state again, Dawn, I'm learning how to do this and I can't learn it over there. I don't see that I'm a problem sitting here.
Well, I'm gonna ask that we follow our protocol.
And I'm going to
that-
ask that you listen to my answer.
I heard your answer and I'm not going to argue with you.
Well,
We
I'm
are
not either, but
asking
what is
that
the
with the
big
exclusion
deal?
of the big deal is the protocol and the request of the commission that all chairs are returned to the general seating area with the exclusion of the videotaper.
Then I'll stand here and do it.
Okay, please return the
No,
chair. Thank
You
you.
don't have to move.
No, I'll
Where is the
stand and
protocol?
Okay,
So hold on.
here is-
Where is the protocol written?
There
Where
isn't.
is your policy written?
When I
This
fall
is not
because of my
for
back.
debate. This is not open for debate. To avoid future chaos and unprofessionalism, we are sticking to the custom of the general seating area, and I thank you.
You're the one that's being unprofessional.
Boy.
Wasn't a problem until Dawn brought it up.
I know.
Excuse me, but there is no room for that in our meeting.
Write a protocol and policy then. Stop with the moving target of whatever you
Okay,
decide you want
enough
to do.
is enough, or I will ask you to leave. This is not a debate. We are here to have a professional meeting. We're not debating. You're not challenging the commission. So we are moving forward, and I thank those of you seated in the general area as custom is dictating. Thank you. And now, let's get started.
Did you already say the pledge? Oh.
I don't know, Diane.
I was outside.
So, do you want to start your timer
I do, thank you.
and pay attention maybe to the public that's speaking?
Excuse me, but I'm also taking notes, Julia, and so I will be looking down at my notepad to take those notes, and that's that.
I'd like to address the decorum here. The decorum has been that the public is being told what they can and can't do, and you are giving no respect to them, to the public, when we ask why. From the 3-minute limit to the one time at the podium, you have refused to give a reason, you have refused to justify this reason, and you have zero policy or procedure in place that states these things. Speaking of policy and procedure, I have repeatedly asked you for an agenda that addresses your minutes, your old business, your new business, in a timely manner so that things are not thrown by the wayside again and again. it took until April for you to approve Willie Pack and his contract because it just kept getting put by the wayside. So I'm asking that if you're going to dictate to us what we are allowed to do, that you would please do your jobs to the best of your ability by having an appropriate agenda. On that, Wally has pointed out to you that during work sessions, you are not allowed to make decisions. And yet, here are the minutes from the work session the other day where you say repeatedly that you made decisions. I ask that your minutes reflect the decisions made in work sessions because you're not supposed to make decisions in work sessions. Secondly, you say that several people were consulted regarding public comment period. Whom? Because the only public that was here was Diane and Dwayne and Dawn. So who did you consult with? Did you consult with Mako? If so, state you consulted with Mako. If you consulted with Wally, state you consulted with Wally. We know how accurate he can be sometimes. Where was the web designer during that work session? Because you said that's the reason you were calling that work session, and yet the web designer is nowhere to be found on the minutes. You said it was a work session to work on the website. And yet, here we are with the same website that has still not been updated. The only thing getting added is minutes. And you're still not producing the minutes from March of 2021 to 2022. You don't have them there. They're not there. Half of them are on one page. Now you started putting them on another page. You put them up once a month. So minutes from the 1st of March don't even make it to the clerk and recorder's office until a month later. So the public's still not able to see what you're passing for minutes until we go and pay for them. You're not providing them to the public. And they're riddled with inaccuracies. It's getting really frustrating that you're not being transparent with the public about what's going on in work sessions and in meetings. I had to ask today, who's paying for Willie Pack's $60,000? You would have thought it would be on the
Thank you,
minutes,
Juliet.
but it wasn't.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We only have one copy.
We're
Well,
passing.
oh, okay, whatever.
We like-
Good morning, Diane Magone, also a member of the public with a different slant. What I would like to talk about today is the Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority and the grant that we got from the Montana Healthcare Foundation, and I will come and give a more thorough agenda item review on that. But we are having a meeting in Paradise on May 24th from 4 to 8, and it'll be facilitated by Dan Clark from MSU to talk about the health benefits of having passenger train service again through our areas. So I just wanted to give you a heads up to get that on your calendars. You'll get an official letter from me, and we'll have food. So the public's also invited. It's going to be a great meeting, and it feeds, the information from the meeting will feed into the decision-making of the, whatever it is, rail authority, the national people, when they go to make their decision about what lines to bring back. So it's really an important process. So thank you,
Thank you.
and enjoy this beautiful day.
Thank you.
Clayton Ward, member of the public. First off, I want to apologize for a couple weeks ago when I got a little loud about a discussion that was going on when I basically, in no uncertain terms, tried to say thank you to somebody for doing something that had to do with what the agenda item was, and basically being shut down. I'm sorry, I got a little loud. If I get loud, I want people to understand. I have a hearing problem. If you notice, I have hearing aids in my, so I do have a tendency to get a little loud and not realize how loud I am. So I am gonna reiterate a little bit on the start of this meeting. I've sat over there in a chair next to my wife as she's recording for going on 6 months now, 7 months, and there's never been an issue. I don't know why it is an issue, and outside of maybe just trying to, I don't know. But it doesn't seem like it should have been an issue that we sat there. We're not crowding your table. And it's just, it's ridiculous. Every week we come in here and there's a different rule that people are trying to change, throw at us, that is not always for the better. I mean, sure, I could come sit right there in front of everybody, block everybody's view and be a total butt about it. But, you know, it's just getting a little out of hand as far as, no, let's change this, let's change that, because we had a meeting with the three of us at a closed door meeting, and, oh, we had somebody else in here that is on our side that does that. So, anyway, I just wanted to, like I said, apologize for getting a little loud, obnoxious, but I don't appreciate being told to basically shut up in a roundabout way, and that's how I took it.
Thank you.
Well, I guess just.
My name is Lori Stutzel. I would just like to comment to Dawn. I'm learning to do this. I don't think it would have hurt anything for me to sit there for an hour today, in a chair. Wally sits on the table. So what difference does it make if I sit in a chair right there for an hour to learn to do this, Dawn? What difference does it make? I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not in anybody's way. I have a horrible back and I can't stand there for very long. I'll probably fall on the floor. Then maybe I can sue somebody. But anyway, I think it's a little petty that you won't let me sit there for an hour to learn how to do the video. It's not hurting anybody. It's certainly not hurting you guys or the public. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jenny Tubbs, please, for comment. I appreciate the instruction that's going on and the ability to substitute, but I also understand that there is some protocol that needs to occur here in our committee, or our committee room. And at the risk of making national news the way Helena did when they allowed it to get out of control, I appreciate Dawn saying, please, maybe if there would have been permission asked ahead of time or an explanation before the meeting, this chaos would not have occurred right now. And then the commissioners would have known what your role was in this day rather than just piling in again or piling on, you know,
They could have asked.
Please, I'm talking. And and if when you came in before 9 o'clock and said, hey, would you mind if I instruct my video substitute person to stand with us in this group? This would not have occurred, and rather than allowing the chaos to occur so that we make the national news the way Helena has, we could have stopped this, like an hour and a half ago. Just protocol and courtesy, rather than taking control of that wall, which I understand, you guys have worked very hard to get it, so that you can put your video on the YouTube thread. But there is some decorum and some courtesy that I think would have worked a lot better at the beginning of this day, so that we wouldn't have this chaos and argument and discussion going on right now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
No, trustees vote.
I don't know what phone she's talking about.
Do you have your fund sheet out? Could you check all those funds for me, please? Greetings. Public comment, would you like to comment?
I'd love to comment.
Well, Willie, if you bring up your joyful being, you are always so joyful. We'd love to hear your public comment.
I do have something that needs a signature,
Okay,
if we
can
can
we,
do that.
it depends on what it is, or
Just
can
my
I?
time slip.
Oh, yes, of course. I just wanted, good for you.
Is Jessica here today?
No.
So I'll take that up, I don't know.
How did this work out for you?
I didn't feel like I was anymore until when I got done.
But you did a little more paperwork.
More writing.
Does anybody want to see look how we ended up doing this, how that looks nice. You're not really at the top of your game, are you?
I was gonna call you and I forgot, was it yesterday? Yeah, no,
No,
day
day
before
before,
yesterday,
yeah.
I ended up in Missoula all day with industry meeting.
It doesn't really matter, I just thought.
I know, I
was at the
thought,
top of your
I
game.
should have called though.
No, that is fine, don't ever feel like you have to do that,
No,
no,
I should have.
no. Just was looking for the opportunity to harass you.
This won't be your last one.
Good.
There'll be lots
Good
of
deal.
opportunities, I'll provide them.
Did you get the copy of the letter that we went ahead and put on?
I did not. I heard it got there, I
Yeah,
called the
yeah.
Forest Service to make sure that,
Yeah.
if there is a copy, we'll run over there. Okay.
He's not here today.
Okay.
I'll do this later today.
I can give it
Oh, then you- that's fine.
another day, that's fine.
So how's it going?
Perfect.
Perfect, wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty darn
yeah.
good.
Yep.
What's your name?
Yep, we were, yeah, why say anything else? Oh, yeah, so.
Is there like part of farm meetings?
Yeah, I'll tell you more about it.
You know how they're doing on the sawmill
I
petting,
knew that.
project sale, is that out of the woods on, going towards?
It got signed,
Yeah.
the decision got signed, and I have an updated 5-year plan, I'll give you guys a copy of that. And, it's in there for,
Has to be sustainable, and if the tax rate goes down, then we're screwed. Okay.
Do you need to make the national?
I knew that.
maybe 2 of them. And,
Really, huh?
they're both SBA, so, it'll be, it's gonna be local sawmills.
Uh-huh.
She saw us
Out
sitting here
out of our
for
remaining.
She could came up and mentioned it to us. and
There ain't a lot of local is TRL and
And-
Sun Mountain
Right.
and Pyramid, those are
Pyramid.
local sawmills.
And you don't.
At least they use local, some local.
I mean, I like the format, but I didn't check those
Yeah.
things.
Willie, is this the,
And then you gave us dates.
This one.
is this the back pay that we own?
Yes. Well, and they, so it was the middle of April, so I brought that time to Dwayne. She said I couldn't turn it in then because of where I was at. It had to be turned in. So I took it back and had it another 2 weeks to it, so. And that's the final
Yeah.
2 weeks. It gets brings us current at the end of the month.
Hey, there's a, I guess it would, right out.
Somebody needs to
For
sign
road
that.
equipment, and I gave it to Kelly, and I said, give it to
You
you.
really?
And it's still sitting up there.
Really?
Don't have to.
I don't take those home with me.
Well,
Go up
if
there
you
and
want
vote for
to
it.
pay, yeah.
Is there anything we could barter or, negotiate here?
Apparatus for cleaning the roads or ditches or the streets, I can't remember what it's called.
called a force-feed loader.
There you go.
Thank you.
It's been so long ago, I just.
You guys have a good day.
Remember what. Anyway, if you have.
We're trying.
Well,
Yeah, well, I.
hey, how are you?
I'm good, how about you?
Good.
Good.
Actually, that's what we were doing, and now we actually rented a skid steer, so we're pulling it off, scooping it, we don't even take it off.
Well, I see that. I thought maybe you bought one.
Well, we were trying one.
You get that from Cat?
Yeah, I actually got it with one of them reverse sweepers, so you can sweep into the bucket, but that doesn't
Oh,
work. No,
doesn't it?
that's good for like a park lot, so it doesn't do what we're doing, but,
Yeah. and that-
Fills up too fast. Fills up too fast.
yeah, and then you get muddy stuff in the bucket, packs full of stuff, and then you just can't get enough in it. It makes, it's just not, the sweeper part of it was no good, so we switched to just loading the bucket, loading the loader, and then he runs it.
And they've done an awesome job out at
Oh,
Riverbend.
there she is,
Oh,
right there.
good.
And thanks for picking up the
Limbs.
limbs.
No worries. Anyway, no, it worked pretty good, so I actually, they demoed it to us for a week, and then I called them yesterday, and I'm gonna rent it for a month, because we got 2 more big projects to do. We'll
How
see.
many hours, huh?
This one that we have now only has 380,
Can't beat that.
so we can rent it for a month for $2,300, so. So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna finish up, Tarkio, those, we're gonna do both those, we're just gonna pull out, we got one more day to Riverbend.
No, it's this.
So I was gonna ask a question on the road approaches, when people build a new place and they wanna tap into the main road for their driveway. Does your county road permit require paving or just gravel?
Matching surface.
Oh, matching.
And usually, and I need to talk
I
to,
think we have a public comment.
oh, he's great. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Both ways.
I know, did you see them in the paper?
I did, oh, I read that article, very good, very cool.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Go ahead.
Okay, Anna Marie White. So I've got, a little bit of a report in regards to our Earth Day cleanup at the fairgrounds. So I bought a couple of boxes of, trash bags that each had 50 in the box, and we used all of them. So we know we at least, got 100 bags full. We hauled away piles and piles of needles, pine cones. We removed some large trash, like some old desks, some old, I don't know if they were sign hangers or what they were, but they were kind of like disintegrating behind a couple of the vendor booths. Some old rugs, just tons of stuff that I think just gets left behind. So we were able to get all of that cleaned up. All of that is off the fairgrounds now. There was a second day of cleanup. Ken quit and Woody Woodford went back and finished up what we didn't on Sunday. So it looks beautiful. If you drive by, there's grass that's already coming up and it just looks cleaner. So I'm really excited about all the progress that we made. We do hope to do another cleanup in May. It again will be sponsored by the Girl Scouts. They are calling it their community day of service. So we're hoping to be able to do some additional stuff. And Dawn, thank you so much for coming out. I don't know how many bags of pine cones you got rid of, but it was wonderful to have you there and be supporting our efforts. I think it makes a huge difference for everybody as a whole. So just keep in mind, the two of you guys that did not get to come for whatever reason, we will give you another opportunity. So that's all that good stuff. I don't think that I have everything. I think I might be missing the minutes from the April 5th work session, so I'm hoping that was that attached to this?
It was attached to the minutes. It is
Oh.
part of the minutes.
Okay, so they're all gone, so if I could get those, I would
Maybe
really.
Roman could show you the.
Okay. Yeah. So in
I'll
regards.
give it back on the back side, I made it more
Oh, you want
change. No,
All right.
you can read the April 5, but then.
Okay. So, just in, what time are you guys scheduled? I have a couple of minutes, right?
Yep, come on then.
So in regards to this, I do want to ask the commissioners to set a meeting with me. I'm dismayed by a decision that was made on April 5th. I was not present. So if you will look at your calendars and let me know when you're willing to meet with me, I would greatly appreciate that. I am in disagreement with some of the choices or some of the decisions that were made, and I want an opportunity to be able to convince you otherwise. So if we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna Marie. And we, let's see, can I see your agenda?
Public comment?
Yeah, you have a public,
Well,
you can make a public comment.
Yeah.
Oh, so, you guys done with that stuff on the
Is that, yeah.
Right, and we left you a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
This is even more stuff, so thank you.
And another thing I was
Just-
thinking about, when it comes to your haircut, we need to figure out some ways to get chips, like sawdust, because we've always got a dog cheap. And we all.
So, on this April 5th work session, work session, we should discuss issues brought forward during public comment on Wednesday. That's not where, that's when the meeting was.
Yeah, yep, that's an error.
If I have to go to thank the LCA for you, we will have a conversation and you won't like it.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, not your fault. She went to the
Yes, you know.
Oh, I'm just gonna start some.
So, yeah, here, just gonna set that up.
List.
That's what that work session was for, though.
Just get
But that is the wrong date. So, we do with said changes, and that would be wonderful.
Open these and. Approval.
I'm not writing all the way up to the top. I'm like, first, okay, that would kill me.
Especially without breaking your own stuff.
Yes, yes. Jason, do you have a map of where the bridge is on that trail? It's on the route of the Olympian Trail.
Jared can tell you where it's at for sure, definite. I don't have a
There's a
map.
couple bridges around.
Jason, it is 10:35.
I'll talk to you later, Jason.
Okay. All right, so this is a bid opening, good morning.
Oh,
Bid
yeah.
opening for the route of the Olympian Bridge repairs. We received 2 bids. One from Price Contracting and one from Timberline. And we will open these, and then I will refer to Jared and Mike, make sure they match up with the price point.
I got mine on.
Okay, so the first bid is from Timberline Contracting for a bid total of $293,980 even. And the second bid wait a minute, there's the option to that too. So then on the option item, the bid for Timberline was $39,556.
So what the total you said was?
Well, the total on the first bid was $293. I'll let you look at those, that's Timberline. The second bid is from Price Contracting. The total on the base item is $412,027. And then the option is $41,050.
We can go on our advisement, no award yet.
You don't want to award?
No, I don't know if we have enough for that yet.
Okay.
We should be, that 293 is right around with what we have, so it would be the option item.
So we want to award the base.
Mike, what do you think? It's over Main Street.
What's the option one for, you think?
What's that?
What's the option portion for?
Jared could explain it. I'm not sure. That was, if the bids came in low enough and they had enough money, they were gonna do, they
Oh,
left
an
the option
additional
there to
thing.
do additional work, so. You wanna call,
Yeah, let's give a few minutes.
do we have a few minutes so we can give a call to Nate
I think so.
and
Let's
share
see,
this with
yeah.
Nate?
Yep, you have until 10:50.
Okay, yeah, you want to
Yeah,
give
you
a
got
call?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
You want to
Either of these guys local?
No, well, we're not gonna get much for local just because it's bridge work, so. I have no idea.
If we award it, should probably get awarded.
Oh, the other.
I don't even know where the fuck, to be honest with you, I don't know how to, unless I go.
Somebody must.
Yeah, maybe these guys know. I don't know. Like I said, we just opened it for bids.
Jason, who are those 2 other guys I know? Mike Fromm, who are the other 2?
Jared Costa. He's the Council Falls. He's one of their engineers.
Engineer, okay.
And this is Cade. Cade what?
Van Elswick.
Cade Van Elswick.
I can spell it for you if you want.
And I'll take, is the first name C or K?
Okay.
Okay. And the rest?
VAN,
Where's
V?
Price from?
VAN,
Okay.
and then a space, ELSWYK.
WYK. And your role?
Civil engineer.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Civil engineer.
Civil
He said
engineer.
Price is from the new road.
From where you,
Plains, right under Jared,
under play, oh, okay,
Plains Spirit.
thank you.
Right. Timberline says Billings.
I wanna say that company was, at one point, he was doing some work around here, was local. This is not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure it's worth it before.
Mr. Steve.
Yeah.
So, first one we're working on is version R. And then the last one is whatever I bought. So that's stretching between there.
Are you signing this, and I can write it down? That is you.
Thought I signed it.
You get one like every third month, quarterly.
It's about the one thing.
Thank you. Did, what'd you say? No envelopes.
This
Is
is,
it?
It would be, but so, we could do your bonus three.
Yes, we return it.
So lead times on it
So
right now.
that's the home
Okay,
quarterly.
we started some of it. Extended out, fixed the timbers this year.
Oh, I go to the department.
Yeah, this is great. Steve,
Yeah.
there, but yeah, but,
Has anybody heard from
So we just
Daryl?
canceled that.
I just wanted to keep us posted about it.
Okay. So, it's my recommendation that we award the base bid to Timberline Contracting, and we are not going to award the option at this time.
okay.
I'm just writing that down quick, Jason.
Sure.
No, not awarding the
We'll-
option.
Reject the option bid, and we will award the base bid to Timberline for $293,980.
Okay, before we take a motion on this, is there any public discussion or questions regarding this award? Okay, good. Okay, could you come up to the podium, please?
So as a member of Rails to Trails, I was just wondering when the completion date would be of this project?
It's a two-year completion, two-year completion.
October 15th of 24.
Thanks.
Okay, if there's no other questions or participation, do we have a motion?
I will move, based on the recommendation of the road foreman and of the Forest Service, to accept the bid from Timberline Contracting for that work, with an amount of $293,980 even.
I would second that motion.
All in favor say aye.
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 No opposition, motion carried. And Jason, is this, do we need to, no? Oh, that's different,
Would you sign this right here?
yes. Where am I signing? Okay.
Thank you guys for coming in, appreciate it.
Hey, Jason, I get a copy of
Yeah.
copy.
Yep, I'll take it up right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Would you just ask them if they could scan a copy down to the
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a good day.
All right.
Thank you guys.
How's the arm doing?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
You back?
Huh?
Are you back?
No, well, I'm back. I'm working. I mean, I'm not. I'm still under restrictions for another couple weeks. Anyway, that should be.
All right.
No, it feels good.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Yep, see you guys.
I did, because I haven't even gotten to mine yet, and I needed to see what kind of aviation was. Hey, Jason, when you steal something, you have to give it back.
What do you steal? Oh, it's the
I mean, in his words, and I steal his paper.
You meant it?
I guess he meant it. Well, I'm pretty sure his fingerprints are all over it, so.
24. And that's next year.
What's that?
Is it 25 that bridge will be done?
Oh, no, he said a 2-year, so.
Yeah, then he just told me 24, so he must have meant 25.
Well, I don't know what it started on. So it could be 24. Yeah, yeah.
I'll check it.
Well, it hasn't started.
That's right, business meeting.
It was.
You see that? There's the Golden Lake Exchange. He caught me staring at him, so he smiles at me.
They're breaking it, you never.
I'm just getting sick of it.
No, and I like doing that.
You can't read it until you show people. It's covered up. Oh. And then to use my tits as
Me too, I started having them to meetings.
He says that's gravity when they're playing his hammer
Okay,
tits.
that's about it. We only got 1,000 for school. 1,000.
Really? So he was kind of busy day where he caught me staring at him. Where he caught me.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
also.
So you get this.
That was my.
Repeatedly.
Yep.
Good Lord, that's what I say it, because otherwise I'm gonna come after you next. Oh, by the way, do you need one? I got plenty. My clothes are all too big now. Some of the twinkles. Yeah. Yes. In the end, that trial was dismissed with prejudice because the federal government slaves so many but she was bad, Navarro. So what did you say to Jane? I said, MCA Title IX says public comment is for comment to the commissioners.
No, unless that's including the insurance, but then that was, I added it up.
You can do that.
So,
Let's see, 2152.
It is written that
Yes.
public comment is to comment to the commissioners, not to the public. Yeah, Mineral County. Mineral County is
280, a starting
Yeah,
guide.
unfortunately.
This is rough. And
The wind blows too, and that changes everything.
what we go with her, so now we're.
As you can see, she could have addressed that before her audience showed up. She did it for the audience.
Hey, times 12 though, $53, $280, so your math skills are really good.
It's right there. There's the agenda.
There it is.
But if that was counting the
Late.
contribution, county makes to otherwise we need to. So is this something, let's see, is it, oh, and now we are ready for Amy Lohman, I think. Are you the 1050 Amy? Well, come on up.
I know.
How are y'all?
How are you doing?
Good. I'm Amy Lohman, I work at the Health Department. We just wanted to request to be able to apply for funding through the Montana Public Health Institute. They're releasing $5,000 for each jurisdiction if they want to apply for funding, and this funding would specifically be for syphilis education, testing, and treatment. No match.
No match, and I knew that's what we were gonna say.
No match.
Any match? No match.
Yep, and it has to be spent by June 30th. I thought we had to submit by June 30th, but
Okay. So is there any discussion or questions before we make a motion? Juliet?
So I remember December, I think it was, you guys had stated there were 2 cases, and there were rising cases in Mineral County?
not in Mineral County. We're seeing a rise statewide and a trend that a lot of the syphilitic stillbirths that the state is experiencing are in very rural areas, and mostly due to not being screened during pregnancy.
So that's your
So we're
focus?
hoping to kind of get ahead of it. But yeah, we'll see, because it's, it's not something that anyone like me who's been doing communicable disease for a few years has seen. So yeah, we don't have new cases. This really is just kind of an effort. Let's see what happens and hope we don't get any cases.
Are you sorry,
Go ahead. Yeah, okay.
are you going to campaign towards that education, towards mothers and newborns and
Yeah.
things like that?
And really it's available for anyone, but we're going to make very concerted educational efforts towards that group.
Thanks.
Yeah, good question, thank you.
Okay, any other questions before we make a motion?
When did you say that? By
June 30th.
June 30th.
So, and forgive my ignorance, so it's targeted mainly like syphilis, so I don't know, chlamydia and what are the other ones?
STDs in general?
Yeah, so this one is more specific because it's problematic for childbirth, is that what you kind of?
Yeah, so the state released a call for action probably around December, that just said, hey, we're seeing a lot more cases. And this is kind of their roundabout way of being like, we'd really like you to focus
Because
specifically on
isn't that
this.
historically the rarest one, but that, it's
Well,
just as common as
We're just seeing it a lot more now.
Oh.
And by we, I don't mean girl, but yeah, nationwide, statewide, I wanna say it's up like 2 more %.
Wow.
From what it was 2 years ago, so. Yeah, but we plan to designate at the health department as an actual STI clinic, which will make testing a lot easier for people. So we're using this funding as the syphilis portion of that broader, so we're not forgetting about all the other STIs. We'll just
Oh,
use
they're
this little
STIs
team.
now? Not STDs?
Yeah,
They're
keep-
STIs.
Keeping up with the
Okay.
alphabet soup, it's not STI, which is sexually transmitted infection,
Oh,
as opposed to disease, which tends to be more chronic.
okay.
Yeah.
And we have another question, Diane.
Thank you, Amy, for coming and
Diane, we
educating
can, I'm sorry, I did forget to bring Juliet up to the podium, but could you come up to the podium, please?
I just wanted to ask, Amy, you said that you needed to have it spent by June 30th, and you were talking about part of it being for testing. So can you implement a program to keep that money going for a while for testing?
Yep, we're gonna buy the tests up front.
Oh,
We've
okay.
already checked expiration dates and everything, so, yeah.
And I just wanted to say about syphilis, it's kind of like the oldest STD in the
It is one. Oh, yeah.
Don't you think,
History.
yeah.
all the old
It's
names
so
and
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like other.
Yeah,
Yeah, gout and syphilis for those kids, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
So thank
making a
you.
comeback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other comment before we take a motion on this? Do we have a motion?
I would make a motion that we approve the spending of funding for $5,000 of syphilis education, testing and treatment.
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
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 No opposition, motion carried.
Great, thank you.
Thank you,
I'll let
Amy.
you know how it goes.
Thank you.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
What's next?
Can't be there.
In this shape right now, or?
10:55.
Oh, and it is 10:55.
It's
So-
56.
I'm sorry, but Verizon says 10:55, so.
Way to be argumentative right out of the
Yeah.
chute.
And Verizon is the winner.
I'm sure you're really interested in this stuff, but I am. Friday.
Now it's 10:06, Mary. Thank you.
Too much.
Do I have to say who I am or anything? You're already listening, right? I'm Mary Mueller with the Mineral County Treasurer's
Could we have you talk a
Office.
little bit louder, Mary? We didn't put the mic up today.
I have a really loud voice.
Let's hear it.
So, Mary Mueller with the Mineral County Treasurer's Office, here to give the monthly report for March 2023. The beginning cash report was $13,496,919.25. We have $75,896.55 outstanding warrants, payroll warrants. $77,670 of outstanding claims. Our booked interest on our sweep account at Mineral Count, or at Trail West was, the interest was $10,652.17. The Trail West Money Market made $380.61 interest. Raymond James, cash made $2,768.81 interest. And UBS cash made $6,947.65 interest. Directed CDs through St. Regis School District made $64.44. I'm gonna kind of interject in the middle of this report. We did create an investment committee. It's going well. We have a range of people. We have a banker, we have a couple of business owners, and 2 people from the school districts. So we have a nice little variety. We elected, 1 CD has come due in this interim, and we elected to put it into Trail West, liquidate it and put it in the Trail West account, sweep account. That was transferred at $266,868.32, I think.
So Mary, could I ask you a question, because a word I just heard you use is "we elected." Are you actually the person who elects, you listen to
I
the
make-
advice?
Yes,
Okay, so it's you who elected to make that,
yes.
okay.
We will be having we're asking a representative from DA Davidson to come out and visit with the committee. Kind of leaning towards possibly transferring at least Raymond James or UBS, or we have a lot of stuff on the table to go through and figure out. We are also creating a investment policy for the county. So we will be going through that kind of, all that stuff as well.
Mary, you said there's 2 from the school. Are they from,
Both from Superior School
Oh.
District.
was there interest from Alberton or St. Regis?
St. Regis was too busy. The
clerk there responded and said she was too busy, and I did not have any response from Alberton.
Mary, so I do have a question about the investment policy. So you're going to approve the policy, and then you will send it to, do the county attorneys need to see that since it's a policy before that's approved?
We would have to look into that.
Yeah, I wanna
Because
make
I
sure,
didn't
only because it's a
think about
policy, I think we need to do that.
Okay, good, thank you. So currently we have I went go into the pennies and change. 3.8 million in Trail West Sweep account, 195,000 in the money market. That's just our that's where we get all of our ACHs, any money coming in electronically to the county. Raymond James CDs are right at that 563,000. The cash is at 10,000. The UBS cash is at 21. The UBS CDs and bonds are at 8.405 million. The CDs for St. Rita's, 138,800, 9.6 thousand, 105,000, 127,000. Outstanding checks, 156. So these are the checks that would come through the clerk and recorder's office. Outstanding checks of $156,035.36, and a deposit in transit $2,921.37. So the adjusted bank balance at the end of March was $13,343,352.08. Does anybody have any questions?
Mary, regarding outstanding checks, how long do they remain outstanding before you bring them back for us to cancel the warrant? You know, what's that timeline?
I believe Callan does most of those.
Okay.
And I believe that would have something to do with the fiscal year end. If they're way outstanding, I don't know what that time frame is. I do know that we're going to make a big push on, so we just mailed out all of the mobile home property taxes. And so there are some that are quite outstanding. And when I went to my conference last week, a couple weeks ago, they really gave us a lot of ideas on how to collect that, creative ways to, one county said it was an elderly couple, and they just went and told them how to fill out for LEAT, property tax assistance, mobile home tax assistance, so you can help in that way, and then create a payment schedule if they're just so under that they can't get back up on their feet. You can also go to their house with the sheriff and say, you have this four-wheeler you just bought or whatever, and say we can sell it for you and put that money towards, so kind of go and kind of negotiate with them more in a positive way versus, so we can send them letters that are semi-nice and then a little bit tougher if we have to. So I think Claudia and I are gonna be a big push on that just to try and recoup some of those. One of the things that was brought to my attention by one of the school auditors was that they didn't like us holding old real estate like that hasn't been paid on the books. I believe an auditor out of Missoula County wrote them up about it. So I'm gonna I work with Erin Lipton anyway, and because of the Alberton School District. And so she would know what that was all about. I just haven't had time to look into that. But it sounds like, which makes sense, we have some stuff from 2004 that shouldn't be sitting out for that long. And we can write them off. They're quite low, $80, but
kind of a bug in your ear to see what we can clean up here in the next couple of months and.
Isn't there a time Mary Arnold used to come and
Yeah,
ask you
something
to,
like that,
yeah, and she would bring a list of what needed to be canceled or whatever that correct terminology is.
Mhm. And then the other thing that happened that is kind of an upheaval is the mobile home taxes because of how the rates and the people coming in and moving in and all that. Some mobile homes that have not had to pay are now having to pay. So, I mean, it could be a difference of the $5 TV district and now they're paying $280 for the year. So that's been tough. But they can appeal it. There's an appeal process through the Department of Revenue. So.
Yes, could you come to the podium, please?
I just wanted to ask you a question.
Yes.
Are you guys aware of the benefits for veterans for their property taxes?
Yes.
Okay, I just didn't know. I assumed
Yeah,
you did,
so-
but I didn't know. Because it can be a
That's-
big help to a lot of veterans
Yes.
for their property.
And that is actually something I learned kind of in the last year or so, because
Oh.
I always thought it was just income-based, but it is income-based, and there is a veteran-based one, and we send them, we have applications for both,
Oh, okay.
and we help them with that and send it to the, Department of Revenue for them.
Yeah, because my husband's a vet and he's 100% disabled, so we get a pretty good break on our
Right.
property taxes, but a lot of people aren't aware of that.
Right, right.
So that's
I
all I
wonder,
wanted.
that's a good idea, maybe we should do like an article in the paper,
That's a good
Please.
idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
because we already
Because
put
I
it
think a
in
lot
for.
of veterans have no clue. We didn't know about it, but we've been doing it maybe 10 years.
Mhm.
But we didn't know about it before then. I don't even remember now how we found out about it, but anyway.
Well, that's a great idea, because I have to put, I just have, the articles ready to go in the next couple of issues
Yeah.
to say that these taxes are due.
So that might be a
So-
good little thing to put in the
Add on to it.
paper.
Certainly. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
appreciate
Thank
it.
Yes. Diane, could you? Okay, we just have just a couple minutes left.
Okay, so do you want to also include the old people one?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's, I don't know if it's age, I think it's income.
It's
It's
income
both.
based.
It's
It's
Age
both. Yeah,
and
you have to be
income.
over 65, I believe. It has to be your primary, all that
Okay.
stuff.
Yep.
Good job on your presentation.
Thank you.
I talked too much.
No, you don't.
Just
It's
because
good.
I don't know if I caught it. So if somebody needs help filling out any of the appeals or the request for reduction, can they call you directly or how do they go about doing
They
that?
can come in.
Okay,
Another, person would be, Tamara Klemp.
okay,
She, on Fridays, is over from 10 to 3 in the old Wells Fargo building.
okay.
And she can help anybody with SNAP benefits, all of that. She's really good at that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Mary, I do want to comment how nice this is and moving forward, how nice it will be to have you here every month.
Yes.
And I know,
Appreciate it.
yep, we will very much appreciate, the public will appreciate that. It looks like you've had a really good transition
Oh, yes.
and you have a great team going up
Yes,
there. And,
yes.
I'm sure that Mary Arnold was a wonderful help to you as well in this transition time.
Mhm.
So, thank you.
You said you formed, the committee for the CDs, Finance Committee. So are you gonna have more meetings? I was just thinking about, I know Tina is really busy but will you make her aware if you have another meeting and see if she
I
can get
can,
down?
certainly.
Yeah. that'd be good.
Because, yeah, it doesn't have to be a specific, anybody could come to it.
Oh,
It's not really a formal committee, so I don't know, but I will look into that policy.
Okay.
But yeah, I could just put it out there for people, if she wanted to come.
I think, though, that you might run into some difficulties because the original understanding of the investment committee was by appointment. And so to say anyone can come, I think you'll want to check with your appointees.
So I think, I will double check that.
Yeah,
Since we don't have an actual policy, it's kind of, because I checked on that as well when I was at the treasurer's convention, is that if you don't have a policy, it's kind of just
The only problem is that we did advertise for
Right.
applicants, and so to change that without, yeah. So let's just check into that.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
look at that.
Okay, very good.
Thank
Thank you. And coming right up after Mary's presentation is appoint Ginny Tubbs for salary compensation board, action item. Do we have a motion to appoint Ginny Tubbs to the salary compensation board? We had just the one spot left open. She attended that meeting and applied immediately, and
Where's her, is it, do I have a
I
copy of
don't
that?
know if Darren gave us a copy of that or not. You have a question, Juliet? Could you come to the podium, please?
Yeah, I recall you guys mentioning that those positions were open, but every single week I'm down here, I check that board, the cork board, and it was never posted on the cork board on a Friday when the public is here. And then last week, or no, 2 weeks ago on the 14th, you said you weren't going to advertise in the paper, but you said you would put it on the cork board, and it still didn't make it to the cork board. Was never on the cork board that I ever saw, and I'm down here the week before twice or 3 times that week. And then last week I was here 3 times last week, so I never saw that job opportunity posted on your cork board. So you said you would advertise, you advertised in the mineral paper, I assume, but then it never made it to the cork board.
Okay, so Juliet, that's a really good point, and the answer to that is that because we received that applicant that day, we said it would be open until we filled it. We got the application right away, we didn't need to advertise. We did advertise in public, and we had advertised in the newspaper. One person withdrew at the last minute. We made that announcement in our meeting, and then we got the applicant right away. So that was that.
When the job posting when you first announced that you were looking for the salary board, it was never posted on the board.
It doesn't have to be posted on the
But
board.
you stated in meeting that you would.
Excuse me, because I'm not going to argue with you.
Okay, I'll go to the videotape, that's okay.
I did the videotape, and here's how
I did the
it went.
videotape, you did the audio.
The second time around,
The first time, it was not posted on the
it
board.
doesn't have to be. Here's the deal. We
You
posted it in
stated
the
you
paper,
would.
and it was in the meeting. I'm not going to argue. Go ahead.
But we did advertise in the paper.
We advertised,
And
yes.
then, are you wanting to be on the board?
There are other people that were looking for the application or for the posting and asked me about it, and it never made it to the cork board like it was stated it would be put in the paper and on the cork board the first time.
Okay, so we're
that's all
gonna
I'm
move
saying.
on, because we got an application that day,
Yeah, well,
and
yeah,
so
the
we filled
requirement
it.
is we advertise in the paper.
Clayton?
Yeah, it seems a little fishy that they turn around, you sit here at a meeting and you say something about, well, we have this position open. Someone at the meeting turns around and says, and you're gonna advertise it, that says, I want that position. You're not giving anybody else, by your own words just a couple minutes ago, you did not give anybody else in the community or anywhere else a chance to apply for that job, because you already made your mind up that Ginny was gonna do it. And that's why it was not posted on the court board
Well, it was in the
for the
newspaper.
people.
But Clayton, it was in the newspaper, and that's what's
But that's where
required.
the first ones came in. And then you said the last meeting you had was to turn around and say, we need to fill one more position. We're gonna, and this was the words, we're gonna advertise it, not in the paper, but we will put it up on the court board. It even says it right in the minutes. Okay, so you stand there, and I'm sorry, most jobs or most areas, they have a time limit. It's not an immediate thing to hire somebody right off because I'm the first one to step up and I get the job.
Yeah, we didn't. Okay,
Yep.
so,
There's a word for
would you
that.
guys like to address that, or do you want me to?
Well, we had it in the paper, that's what's required, and was what, open until filled, correct?
I don't even know if it said that, but I will say, yeah, it did say, we will post it, but we didn't need to. Diane asked, could somebody in this meeting come apply? And we said, yes. Ginny Tubbs applied. There was no preferential treatment done there. That took one more thing off. You guys all had the opportunity to apply, and I thank everyone who did apply. And now, without further argument, if there's no other comment, we would like to go ahead and appoint the one applicant that came in immediately, that's Ginny Tubbs.
And I would make a motion to appoint Ginny Tubbs.
I'll
salary
second.
compensation.
If that's our only application received thus far as a result of the advertisement, then I second that motion.
All in favor say aye.
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 No opposition, motion carried. Oh, Ginny, you will need to go to the clerk and recorder's office and sign in with the box.
Read it before you sign it.
What time is it for the voting?
No, what time is it?
In
What do we
this
have?
couple of minutes, can I say something just?
Yeah, we're done with that item, yeah, we're done with that item. Okay, so you can come to the box.
Yeah, till 11:20.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, 11:20,
Okay.
11:20.
Hello, Sheriff Funk.
How are you?
Good, how are you? We have 5 minutes for you, right? So we can make a quick run?
Oh, yeah. I'm just waiting for court. We got subpoenaed for Wednesday for court today.
Okay.
And another break. And another break. And another break.
Hopefully they're gonna do
No.
You're hired.
No, come here. It's the definition and on video of nepotism. She didn't get paid until this week. They closed the office last 2 weeks ago when they first announced it. They didn't take any more than one hour.
That's how they operate, until full.
That's okay. That's okay. It's nepotism, it's on video. She contradicted herself so many times and just that was ridiculous. It's just, she has no clue how stupid she is.
Because all of us, kindergartners don't know anything. This does, you have to remember that.
Well, all I
Do
can
you
say,
like her looking at you and giving, and that's that. Did you like that? It's on video. I'm telling you. These people
here's one thing, you know, we made a big issue about this at our last several meetings.
A public comment where I repeatedly asked for the agenda?
No, it's dealing with that.
Oh, with the resolution.
Yeah,
But yet they still don't get it. No.
where they crossed out the one word and write that and then cross it out. Wait a minute. If it's done on a computer, backspace over it. Let's do some spot checking.
Okay, so no, this is the proper way to do it. It is, only it's supposed to be in red. That is the proper way to do it with like legislation and resolutions. But you cannot do it without refiling it for a new file date. That's the point I was making.
Right, well, what I'm saying is, this is just a rundown. Before there's all that the member made, but they didn't need to put the will in there.
I know, she doesn't know, she doesn't understand how to number.
Tell me it's an educated person.
She's not.
She has to be, she was a kindergarten teacher.
He's one of the champions for the reserves.
Briefcase.
Derek, how are you?
Cashman said it's a waste of our time and it's people are going to work it as a job, as a real need, not just for the office. And I was like, wow, that's great. I think he is with the different.
So I'm just gonna give.
Not for a long time.
It's all on top.
So this is.
He's a sergeant. See what sergeants make?
Just so you know, next Thursday, he's setting his same guy.
Yeah, don't you, if you have more recent information, if you split that amount, don't have more days that week and then leave it outside of the fence, please stop.
And I'll circle back with him on Thursday because he's coming, he said, well, I'd like to come out Tuesday, but he's being with Shifty. I think it's also good to be the maker as well. But then I'll be able to say, well, geez, we just went.
Did you guys get your bill?
No, I said,
Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority bill?
Bill?
Well, you know that they say that they are asking for. You'll get one. It's signed by me. So just do what you usually do.
Oh.
It's, you know, it's and I talked to her.
All right, if we could please take our seats and be ready for Sheriff Funk with his presentation.
That's the standard.
You do.
At least the speaker's not here.
I know, so use your really loud voice.
All right, you guys ready?
Ready?
All right, Sheriff Ryan Funk, I'm here in reference to the SRO COPS grant. So I'll just give you a little presentation that I'm sending to several people in support. I also have the schools here in support of the COPS grant for an SRO. So just bear with me. School safety has been an increasingly popular topic in Mineral County and throughout the United States over the past few years. Several school shootings over the past few months have bolstered efforts in Mineral community to keep our children safe. One of these efforts is applying for an SRO grant and providing an SRO to the schools of Mineral County. Currently, road patrols answer the dozens of calls that we receive from the schools weekly. With the already thin patrol ranks, this puts an intense strain on our patrol units. Also, with 50% of the active shooter events over in 5 minutes, this would definitely increase, our patrol response and responses to the schools. With one school being centrally located, the remaining 2 schools are at least a 15-minute response time. With an SRO, without an SRO, several schools are at risk of the event being over before patrol units arrive. Mineral County has a vast area, approximately 1,223 square miles, and has 77 miles of Interstate 90. With extensive miles of interstate, this comes with more crime. This is one of the largest drug corridors in the United States. All of the schools in Mineral County are within approximately 1/16 of a mile from the interstate. That means that they are all highly accessible to interstate crime. On March 18, 2023, there was an incident in St. Regis where we had an active shooter situation from an interstate occurrence. This caused St. Regis School to go on lockdown. A hostage was taken and shot during the incident along with the shooter a hostage was shot and taken during the incident along with the shooter. This shows that just in seconds, one of our schools and community can be affected. An SRO would provide a high visible presence to deter and or identify trespassers or crimes being committed on school campuses. They would also provide a service to the community by addressing issues with students such as speeding, loitering, etc. They would also assist school administration for safety protocols throughout the schools. One thing that I observed in the past is that an SRO is a role model and someone that students can build a relationship with. This is one thing that lacks in Mineral County. It has been challenging to build these relationships as our road patrols don't have the time to make these important relationships. With an SRO, it helped build these important relationships with the school and the students. Relationships where students would come to the SRO with problems, advice, or just somebody to simply talk to. They would also advocate for the parents of the students who might be having issues with drugs or alcohol. With recent studies in Mineral County, through the Mineral County Substance Use Prevention Committee, it has shown that students in Mineral County are at high risk for drugs and alcohol. Through classroom presentations, an SRO can give the information needed by students and teachers to help with alcohol and drug abuse. This would create a positive interaction with the students and staff and give them a positive learning experience. An SRO would also help with safety and security at school events. Over the past several years, we have had several incidents at the schools during events. Without a quick response to these incidents, a lot could have gone a lot worse. Mineral County has a small tax base, and therefore we continue to have the same issue, the lack of funding for safety, the safety of our children. Mineral County has shown a rapid growth over the past few years. This has also put a strain on our 6th Deputy Patrol Unit. Currently, our shifts are sticky paper, sorry. 12 o'clock to midnight and 2 o'clock till 2 o'clock in the morning. This creates a void from 8 to 12, and this decreases our patrol response if an incident would happen. The schools of Mineral County have all contacted the Sheriff's Office and requested an SRO. The whole community knows what an impact an SRO would provide to our school safety and community safety. Community safety, our community members have also expressed their concern about an SRO and have typed letters of support. Like I said, I have the schools here. And through 2023 currently, just to throw numbers, the annual salary and benefits of a deputy is $67,146.54. If we're able to do grant match, the 25% of it would be $16,786.64 shared between the schools, per year. We've talked to the schools and given them about a $6,500 a year window. So at the end of it, the schools are all willing and on board to do the match for the county. So if we approve the match, the grant will pay for the 3 years, and the schools combined between the three would split the grant equitably through the 3 schools and pay for the 4th year.
And pay for the 4th year too.
Pay for the year that, is outstanding.
Okay.
So at this, once everything's done, it's at no cost to the county to provide an SRO for at least 4 years. If it's not a match, the COPS grant only pays $125,000 over a 3-year period. So that would be the same deal as that, the schools would have to reach in and grab the 3rd year, because $125,000 doesn't provide much money for a 3-year COP. $10 an hour, you might be able to get that, but, even at, our minimum, our small wage and salary, you can't get a COP for $125,000 with benefits. I'm just requesting, us to be able to, I think the application deadline is May 11th is to apply for it. Hopefully by that time I'll have, some kind of contract or work with the county attorney's office to get a contract for the schools to sign, and move forward with that, it's contracted, and so it doesn't put any strain on the county. It's something that, is very much needed. I think, if anybody's seen any of the school shootings, it's fairly quick and devastating, especially to small communities, and whatever we can do to minimize the devastation or have a cop car or somebody parked there so people think twice would be very much appreciated. And then I will leave the podium for Mr. Labby if he wants to come and talk.
Yep. Could you stay, or do you guys want to hold the questions until afterwards? I know that you're in a hurry, so I wonder if you could.
I can step back up too.
Yeah, I can ask you some
I
questions.
would just like the teachers and staff of the schools to come up and be able to give a small presentation also on how this would impact, their students and their staff in the community.
I just want to make sure, I know you might have to leave on a moment's notice, that's
Okay.
all, that's my.
Yeah, if my phone rings, I can step back up. Sorry, and I have course.
If your phone rings.
Or if you have questions now, I can hammer those out.
I think so. I got a couple of just really quick questions.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have an opinion on this. Well, the first thing that comes to me, Ryan, you answered one of them, would there be a contract for the schools? You said yes. And then I asked you, where did you get the $67,146.54? What components make that up?
So that's our salary and benefit package, and that's from Kellan.
That's a
That-
starting officer's wage
No, that's with the
everything.
benefits and.
With,
Yeah,
with benefit package and everything.
benefit package. I knew it was
Yep.
benefits. I don't think I didn't see this.
The
So,
work comp, the FICA.
that's what I wanted to know. And,
Everything, yep.
and your,
I wish I made 77,000.
retirement. That's why I was
I was
wondering.
gonna say.
I mean, even as the sheriff, I make about
Yeah.
20 grand less than that, so.
Yep, I didn't see that, so that was my question.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the
Okay.
whole package. And so like when I say this, you know, once the contracts and stuff are wrote, is that, you know, the schools are gonna support the fourth year, so, and, you know, we'll have the car that we'll provide. But other than that, as far as salary benefit package, it'll all be wrote up in a contract to the schools and have the schools sign.
Sure. Did you have some questions?
How will you, just what are your thoughts on time spent? It'll be one officer
So-
doing 3 schools.
Okay, so I talked to the schools and, you know, it's a strategic thing, I think, is that, you know, the schools, you know, principals, superintendents will know, it'll be a random draw per se, unless there's a big school event. And thanks for bringing that up, I have another thing to talk about, is it'll be random, you know, between schools. Let's say, you know, Mr. Labby, you know, says, hey, we have this big school event, you know, there's gonna be a lot of extra people here, can we have the SRO, you know, today? So it'll be random throughout the county, or if there's not enough to do at one of the schools, you know, maybe they can hit a couple of the schools daily, and see where we go from that. I think it's gonna be a real big, you know, learning curve as far as like trying to schedule all 3 schools. I know, in Lake County, they have one that does Arlee, Mission, and, Charlotte. So it's kind of the same, you know, broad spectrum of schools a long ways apart. And I work there with that SRO, and so, you know, random works, so people don't know when they're gonna be there, so. And along with that is, I think we're capped at like 40 hours of comp time, and so with an SRO, I want the comp time to be able to be lucrative for them for, you know, like, if they take winter break off, you know, spring break, Thanksgiving break, so they don't have to specifically work patrol. So I would like, you know, the SRO to be able to have 80 or 120 hours of comp. Understand that's gonna take a long time to accrue, but give them the ability to, you know, take the time off with the students.
Be off in the summer, you mean?
No, not be off in
Oh.
the summertime, be off for like, you know, when the kids go off for winter break for
Oh.
a couple weeks, they can take winter break off. Or they can, you know, if they don't have the comp time, but if we continue with the 40 hours of comp, you know, that's a week, and, you know,
What would they do in the summer when school's out?
they would be ours
Okay.
to work the road. So that's another benefit to the county is, you know, we would have 7 patrol guys in the summertime from, you know, let's say June to, you know, middle of August.
So, Ryan, I think an important question here is, will the county attorney be looking over the grant? Because the only concern I have is the selected officer will be chosen by the sheriff and the school principals and superintendents. And so I'm a little concerned about that, just given where we are today and the policy.
No, so that's from within. Of course, it would be a position given to the patrol people that are on patrol currently. If nobody applies for it, of course, it wouldn't, it's not a new applicant, it would be
Okay,
somebody
that
from the
clears
sheriff's
that up.
office.
We thought it was a new applicant.
Oh,
so
no,
I-
no, so,
Okay.
you know, anything from within, like sergeant or anything, you know, normally we post it and whoever wants it, and I'll bring the schools in, and we interview that person and pick the best person for the school.
Excellent, that clears it up completely.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, it was a lot to get put together,
Could you, and so you guys, do you have any other?
Dwayne have any more?
I don't think
Okay.
so.
Well, I think it's a good idea, and I have no opposition to it at all. The only thing I have is like a bookkeeping. Today happened to be the day that Killan and Casey gave me the budget and the journal vouchers and the cash report. And so, and I got on the undersheriff last year because the Stone Mountain grant was way in arrears. And then we were paying our own money until we got the backfill from the grant. And so currently, as it just came today, the COPS grant we currently have, Ryan, is is, hasn't had any money come into it since August of '22, so the county's we're in arrears, we've been paying $73,000 for
Yep.
that grant.
Yep.
And the Stone Garden grant hasn't had any money coming in since September, that one's in the negative $43,000. So, I just don't wanna put the, cart before the horse if we
Yeah.
take on another grant.
Yep.
Who's doing the reporting, can we get these other ones caught up?
So,
Because I don't wanna have it be even more work, where
Yep.
now we have 3 grants in
Yep.
arrears.
so, I was gonna have Tiffany here, but we had a dispatcher call out sick. Tiffany would be taking care of that grant. Wayne is well aware that, the COPS grant needs to be taken up. And, with the individual who was working, doing our Stone Garden stuff, was no longer an employee in January. And there's been a really big, email chain of lack of communication. And Stone Garden being able to give us all of our information, so Lisa Den, in dispatch is taking care of the Stone Garden grant, and she's getting it caught up right now.
So do we have something concrete about catching these up? Because I like your concern with if these aren't caught up and we're moving forward. So what is the concrete plan and when can we expect to
I would
this
expect,
money?
I would expect the COPS grant to be caught up and dealt with by the end of next week, and I'll express that to Wayne. Stone Garden's a different kind of dynamic, because there's sheets and stuff that
Right,
Lisa's
there's more
gonna have to go
reporting
through.
involved in that.
And so, we got Lisa a password, I believe, on Monday or Tuesday, and so while she's not active in dispatch, she's catching that up right now also. And so I would hope in the next couple of weeks, and like I said, the Stone Garden grant's a lot more dynamic of, what needs to be done. But everything's updated online, so it should help her, that all she has to do is coordinate that with time cards and get that sent away.
And you would be able to come back and let us know when Wayne's caught up
Yep.
on the cops and
Yep.
Lisa?
Yep.
That would be great.
Yep.
So Wayne's gonna catch up the current COPS grant.
Yep.
And then
Lisa's
next
gonna,
week-
Lisa's gonna do the Stone Garden.
Yep.
And the new one that you're presenting today would be done by
Tiffany, yep, Tiffany will be the administrator on it. Yep. And now that I'm in office, is keep a pretty close eye on most people. And so I have the COPS grant stuff, so, I mean, if it doesn't, then I'll take on the COPS grant. Getting that updated, maybe in the future is, both of us could get our eyes on it. I mean, it's been a busy 4 months for me. So, I mean, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to provide, public safety and school safety to the schools. And, I mean, this has been like a big priority of mine, definitely. Even before I was sheriff, is that we need to support the schools, because, it seems like school violence and, drug abuse, alcohol abuse and tobacco abuse is just accelerating and gone out of control, so.
Now, and that's the other thing, would you come back and let us know after that's assuming that we approve this, let us know who is chosen after your interview process?
Absolutely.
Just because, that's good to know.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. So,
You want me to give it to the real professionals back behind me?
yeah, you can, or otherwise I can tell you, it sounds like there's no opposition here, but,
Okay.
we do wanna open it up.
You do have Superior, what was the response from Alberton?
Alberton is 100% behind it. Their school superintendent is transitioning to another school. And, Chris Whiteman, was aware but hadn't responded to this meeting, but we conference called him in, was that 3 weeks ago? And he's 100% behind it.
So they're still cool with their contributions?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and Mr. Larson's here for St. Regis.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was kind of blocking him. But Mr. Labby wants to come up, he's got a letter of support here that I'll let him go forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna read the whole thing, but I'll just paraphrase real quick. You guys, sounds like you understand the need for this, and it's really a no-brainer. In fact, I wish the feds, the fact that we don't have somebody like this in every school in the country is insane to me. I mean, it really is. It's like that'd be a no-brainer way to keep schools safe or safer. And the fact that especially Superior, a third of our district borders is from a stone's throw away from I-90, and it's always a constant concern to have somebody on campus. And the other part of this too is that the proactive piece, the education piece that Ryan mentioned, as far as you know, number one, the rapport with the students and the families of our community. And it gets that, I'm scared of the cops mentality, and it's somebody that they can look to, the kids will see in the summertime, and be like, hey, I know you, you know. That is a huge thing for our kids, and it helps prevent a lot of the things that he mentioned, you know, tobacco use and those types of things, so. Yeah, 100% full support of this. It's, and again, like you guys have already realized, it's a no-brainer, I think, for our county and our kids and keeping this place safe, so.
Thank you.
You bet.
Did anyone else, did either of did you want to stand up and?
I would like to second that piece about being.
And your name?
Derek Larson, sorry.
Derek Larson, St. Regis.
St. Regis Superintendent, recently as of last year. And I'd like to second that proactive piece, really making sure that we have somebody who's in the school system, interacting with the kids regularly, because it is really easy for them to do things and kind of, when you have that distance between yourself and the police officers, the kids can then use those behaviors, and when they get caught, it's somebody external. But when they have somebody that's internal, that they know and they have a personal relationship with, they are more likely to have that relationship piece to build upon, rather than to hold at a distance and to validate the behaviors with that distance. So appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, are you headed back up, Ryan?
Well, no, I'm just coming back up to grab this, and I guess,
Oh.
see what you guys have to say. I just got back in the court.
Well, I wanted to put it out to the public before we make a motion. Yep. Does anyone want to weigh in on this? Yes, go ahead to the podium.
Lori Stetzel, I think this is one of the better ideas I have heard for this county in years. Because it'll happen here someday. It will happen here. We all think that it won't because we're a small town, but it will. And I know I was real involved with the SROs in Colorado when I lived there and my daughter was in school. So if that's something, somebody from the community that you would like to get involved with it, let me know, Brian. And it's been a while since I've done it, but I think it's one of the best ideas I've heard in a long time. And thank you, because it's very definitely needed.
Excuse me, Anna Marie, are you coming to the podium? Could you please wait a minute? I want to make sure that Lori gets to say everything, and then the chair will recognize you to come forward.
I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Lori. Anna Marie, do you have a comment?
Yes, thank you. Sorry,
That's
it's
okay.
exciting.
That's all right.
Anna Marie White. Mr. Larson, I haven't met you, but I will. I need to actually meet with you. So I just want to offer my support. We have 3 girls at Superior. We are extremely blessed that our girls attend Superior schools. So anyway, I just want to offer my support as a very, very involved parent. And I'm so excited for you and hope that this all comes about soon. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna Marie. And if there are no other comments, I'm going to ask the guys if we have a motion here.
I would make a motion that we approve the school resource officer Cox grant application.
Okay, I will second that.
Any other comments here? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No opposition, motion carried.
Thank you.
And you'll keep us apprised.
Yep.
Very good.
I'll keep you up.
So, right, or Sheriff, when does that position start?
So we have to have the applications by mail, but I'm sure Tiffany wasn't able to come last minute.
Right, we have nothing
So I don't
else.
know what it's gonna do, so hopefully
Within the next,
hopefully the next couple months.
good, maybe by school year?
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your support.
Yes, yeah.
So, this is the record.
And then the other person.
Press it, it automatically goes on. But if you don't have this.
No, I didn't want to tell you that, but.
And then right here, that will.
Yes, I did, yes. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
yourself? We done then?
Yes.
Start getting ready for that dinner